First of all, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing funds.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Akash Persaud, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got that.
No, calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Come on, Lou Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
okay,
an
he's good.
erratic
Mikhail
detective is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why an African slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Hi there. Another edition of our Friday call-in. The numbers are on the screen. One landline and the two WhatsApp. As usual, we show you some videos and then we take your calls. Siraj, Dan Kumar Siraj promised he'll be back this week and he kept his word. So, Member of Parliament for the People's Progressive Party, advisor to the Ministry of Local Government, and member of the GWI board, Dharam Kumar Siraj is here. So get all your complaints from water, local government, NDC, and if you want, you can make a political pitch as what happened last week and talk to Mr. Siraj. And now I will make a pitch for Mr. Siraj. We've been friends a long time. I'm one of the better politicians, modest, friendly, no-frills politician this country has produced. Dharam Kumar Siraj is one of the most modest politicians I have met in my life. And that, although we held different political perspective over the past 3 decades, we've always remained friends. Of course, our reliable co-host, Akash Persaud. So we'll show you some videos and then talk to one of the members of the ruling party in Guyana, Dharam Kumar Siraj. So here we start with what I consider one of the absurdities in my financial life. Now let me show you my article for the Chronicle yesterday. So it says, I cannot afford $9.60 for a simple ice cream cone. That was my column for the Chronicle yesterday. I will keep it on for a couple of seconds. I cannot afford $960 for a simple ice cream cone. Now let me tell you the story about that. I normally go to Banks DIH and buy their ice cream cone. I like ice cream cone. I normally go often to Banks DIH. And so 2 weeks ago, I took my dog for a cone and my cousin was in the Banks DIH outlet at Quamina and Main Street. And while feeding my dog the cone in the car, he said, you know, Dairy Queen in Giftland Mall sells the best cone. So I was in the mall 2 days ago and I decided, look, let me go and buy a cone at Dairy Queen. So I took out $1,000 and I asked for a cone and the lady gave me back $25 $40. So I said, no, I don't want a tub of ice cream. I need a cone. She said, yeah, I know you said you need a cone. That is a change from the cone. The cone was $960. So $960. Can we take that off now?
Yeah.
$960 for a cone. Do you know how much for a cone at Banks DIH? And a nicer cone? Same cone. Now they're gonna drop dead. $170 for a Banks DIH cone. Now, reason this out. A cone is what you call dessert. You don't have your meal and you either have a cone or a cup of coffee or you have a piece of cake. Now, if you take the kids and 4 kids, a piece of chicken with a biscuit and fries and a small soca drink comes up to about $1,060. So if you take the kids and you buy a piece of chicken for 4 of them with the fries, and when you finish, you say you can have a cone. The 4 cones will cost more than the entire meal for the 4 kids, because a cone at Dairy Queen is $960. Now, maybe the Queen made it at her dairy and sent it to, exported it to Guyana. But even the Queen made it from her dairy farm. A cone in Guyana cannot be $1,000. Now, let me show you something. Look at this. Just want to show you this. You see this running shoes? This running shoes is a brand name running shoes. And my wife and I went shopping. She wanted a pair of shoes at Payless in Movie Town. And I saw this sale, clear out sale, old stock going out. $1,000 for a pair of joggers, a pair of running shoes. That is what? $8,000. Look, $1,000 I paid for this. So Akash saw me with it and said, you're wearing fancy things. And I told Akash, tell me how much for these shoes. And he said $8,000. And I paid a cone money for this. $1,000. I bought 6 pairs. 6 pairs I bought. Now you imagine this gonna last me a long time. This is a brand name running shoes. And a cone is $1,000. Well, I tell you what, if I was young, I would have hold a placard with a good Giftland mall and hold a placard in front of Dairy Queen. The Queen has to make that ice cream for it to be selling for $1,000. And Banks DIH is $170 and nicer ice cream. It could only happen in Guyana. Let's go to the chronicle again. Look at this. Guyana could save more than $150 million with imports cut by 2025.
US dollars.
Please read that. It's US dollars, as Siraj just said to me. We could save in 18 months' time $150 million US dollars if we cut out the nonsense that we buy. Okay, now you go to the supermarkets and see what people are buying. Something is gone wrong with the people of Guyana 58 years after independence. When I see these things in people's baskets, these are not expatriates. These are Guyanese that are buying foreign pasta, buying European milk. DDL sell a box of juice for $304. A box of Nestle juice, the exact juice with a lot of chemicals inside, is $960. I lived at the time when Burnham and Jagan were calling on people to show pride in their country. I belong to the immediate post-colonial Guyana, where we would have frowned on those important things. You know what we're going to do next week? I'm going to show you next week when we come Friday. We're taking the cameras and go all around Georgetown. And I will show you all the advertisements on those supermarkets and those billboards are clear complexion people. You see a toothpaste advertised, it's a white person. You see a juice advertised, it's a white person drinking it. You see a beverage advertised, the whole range of products all over Guyana. So that is what Guyana has become. We are now, all of us now want to become white. What other videos we have there, Ham?
Freddie, we have one here. As you know, the political scene is hotting up, especially over in the opposition camp. And this is we had planned to do this before. And there is a video that came out on.
Least the opposition accused me of collaborating with the conspirators.
Yeah, so that's what I said. Me and Freddie had planned to do this anyway.
Accused me of collaborating with the two of you.
Yeah, conspirators he called us, right? Right. But there is a video here that is that came out recently, and we don't get into that whole sexual misconduct thing. That's But this is a video that came out from Miss Amanza Walton Desir on her Facebook page. And we would have had Mr. Ford on Wednesday also, who expressed some interest, that expressed some dissatisfaction with the way things are going in their own camp and so on. But here is a video from Miss Walton Desir. Yeah, and let me play.
Today I come to you, my dear brothers and sisters of the PNCR. Today, I come to you with a heart heavy with concern and a mind resolute in the belief that we can rise above the current challenges that threaten to divide us. As all of Guyana knows, we are a mere 2 weeks away from our 22nd Biennial Delegates Congress. Our party, the People's National Congress Reform, has always stood as a beacon of hope, unity, and progress for the people of Guyana. However, recent events have cast a shadow over our noble cause. It pains me deeply to witness the vitriol and hostility that have begun to pervade our campaign. Known surrogates of some candidates are resorting to aggressive, reprehensible personal attacks against other candidates and against their fellow party members. This behavior is not just an affront to the individuals targeted, it is an assault on the very fabric of our party and everything we stand for. I remind us that we sing, brotherhood our armor plate. We must ask ourselves, what kind of country, what kind of future are we building if we tear each other down in the process? How can we lead a nation if we cannot even lead ourselves with dignity and respect? The answer is clear, we cannot. We are at a crossroads, my brothers and sisters, and the path we choose now will define not only our party, but also the legacy we leave for future generations. It is time to return to the principles that have always made the PNCR strong: unity, respect, and constructive dialogue. I call upon each and every member of our great party to stand with me in rejecting the tactics of division and hate. Let us embrace a campaign that is grounded in mutual respect and a shared vision for a better Guyana. So here's what we must do. 1, we must reject hostility. Let us unequivocally condemn any form of aggression. We are not just party members, we are a family. And families do not tear each other apart, they build each other up. 2, let us promote constructive dialogue. Let us engage in meaningful conversations about our policies, our vision, and our goals. Healthy debate is the cornerstone of democracy, but it must be conducted with respect and integrity.
Good.
Let us commit to a...
Siraj, that if they behave like that, you don't hear what she said? Surrogates of other candidates. You can trust these people in government again? They won an election in 2015, and in 2020 said we're not coming out. This is not a PPP person saying, look what our Congress has become. This is a leading PNC personality that says the whole thing has gone haywire. Now, we've had another contender,
Mr. Ford,
and he unambiguously, pellucidly said that the thing will not be free and fair. The voting will not be free and fair. Now, we play that clip, Siraj, so people can see what is the nature of this party. You thought it would have changed over the years. Now, there's been no even a fleeting moment in the PPP Congress of somebody saying he's a dog, he's a this, he's a thief. And you know, look what she has said. We play that clip so people can see that it is not Anug, PPP, some other party saying this about what is going on.
Well, out there in the public domain, not only this show, but other media houses and so on, the stories are there about the behavior of some of the candidates and supporters of some of the candidates. And of course, this well-established view that there are serious attempts being made to rig the voting at Congress Place.
But we'll play what we got anything from.
So we see that behavior, and it's very difficult for them to distance themselves from what they have been practicing all these years. I mean, since 1964, you and I know all the elections were rigged up to 1992, and it's not easy to get rid of that kind of behavior. It is almost a habit. And then if you fast forward to 2020, and as a matter of fact, 2018, when no confidence motion was legitimately passed and acknowledged by the government then of the APNU, AFC, a few days after they refused to come out after acknowledging the legitimacy of the no confidence motion. And thereafter, for nearly 18 months, they held the country at ransom for over different kind of views. And then in March 2020, you had an elections, and they refused to come out when the count showed that they lost. And they held on for another 5 months, and the world was looking at us and said, with a voting population of less than 500,000, why are we taking 5 months to make a declaration?
And then after the 5 months, for the recount, Lowenfield said he needs 6 months.
Yeah,
it took less than 2 weeks to count. Hundreds of millions of votes in India. Lowenfield actually said he needed 350 something days.
A whole year. So
we got any clip? Could we get the relevant part of what's the Ford?
Yeah, let me just make sure this is the part.
Right. So this is what is happening, and then we sat there. We had to go through that torture of 33 days of recounting at the at the International Convention Center, and the CARICOM leaders were very firm and said, we're all same thing. We are all part of a family here, and Ralph Gonzalez said, if you lose, take your licks like a man and move on. And then another leader said that in the face of such a sturdy paper trail, you really got to be something else to try to rig an election in this blatant manner.
Here's Mr. Ford's response to a question that was posed to him.
Which struck me, and in doing some research, I came across an article that was published on the Mara Waves on June 14, 2024. It says, and it quotes Mr. Norton, the PNCR Congress is slated for June 28 to the 30th, at which Mr. Norton hopes there will be transparent elections, and here is a quote: "We will ensure that the party Congress has its proper systems in place, and that in the final analysis we have an open and transparent election. Are you confident that this is going to happen, Mr. Ford?
I am not confident that that is going to happen. I'm not confident that it could happen because when I look at the commencement of the process all the way to where we are now, I am not satisfied. I am exactly in the same position that.
So Mr. Ford is not satisfied and has his doubts about the credibility of the process.
And he doesn't believe it will be free and fair. So Siraj, these are the people this is the party that will be asking people to vote for them in 2012. But I'm telling you this, Siraj, you will know more than me because you're inside the war room of the PPP. The PPP is going to win that thing hands down. Who is going to look at these clips? An election is rigged. An internal election is rigged. I mean, Siraj, why they can't hold an open, nice, transparent thing? Why Walton Desir has to come and say people cussing her down? What is wrong?
Like I said, that's the nature of the beast that we're dealing with. And, it might take several generations to purge the PNC of this kind of behavior and this kind of thinking. There is some kind of hope in the young people, in their mentality. But, Freddie and Akash, it's in this modern era, it's very difficult to really interfere with an elections in the manner that they used to do. And, we saw in 2020 that when we plugged the loop in terms of the counting of the ballot at the place of poll and putting up the statement of poll at the place of poll, then this other option was tried by Mingo and crew down there, where they manufacture numbers that are not registered on statement of poll in Region 4 to influence the outcome of the elections. And when questioned, Mingo said, well, these are my numbers, you can go and challenge it. And we said, but where are you getting the numbers from? Because when you're compiling the numbers of votes for any particular electoral district, the instrument that informed you of how the populace vote is the statement of poll. And when he was calling out the numbers, it had nothing to do with the statement of polls that were in our hands and that were photographed at the place of poll. So that was a blatant, as you said, the spreadsheet. That was a blatant attempt to take away the elections from the will of the people by manufacturing numbers to put the PNC in a comfortable place to win. And it's a good thing that, the observers, the international community realized what was going on, and they stood up for democracy, they stood up for transparency, for accountability, and free and fair elections. Or else this country would have gone to the dogs.
Our lines are open. The 2 WhatsApp numbers are on your screen, and of course we have the landline. Call us and talk about anything. As we said in our advertisement today for the program, politics is heating up. We just gave you what 2 contenders for the leadership of the PNC said, Mr. Amanza Walton Desir and Mr. Ford, Mr. Roysdale Ford.
Right.
What, Siraj, if the thing is not free and fair and Norton wins, I think you may be facing a crisis that the PNC have never faced before. The PNC may be facing disintegration.
Well, the writing is on the wall, because with this kind of in this kind of public fighting that's going on in the public domain, as it relates to the behavior of the major contenders. We have a caller here. Let's take it. Caller, good evening. You're on here.
Hi, good evening, guys. I'm watching the West Indies USA match here. I'm hoping the US beat the West Indies. I'm living
I'm hoping that the West Indies put a thrashing on them.
No. You're gonna lose tonight, Siraj.
Bob, you get banned from the. Bob, you get banned from this phone.
Bob?
So Bob, you looking for the West? The West Indies is going to take this cup.
Well, I'm living in the US, boss, so I'm going to support the US, even against India and any other.
I cannot hold that against you. I live in Guyana, I live in the West Indies, and I will not support the US.
I saw.
Or any other team against the West Indies.
I saw an Olympic World Cup qualifying match between Mexico and the US. And the stands were filled with American Mexicans, and they were chanting for Mexico and abusing the
So Bob, we want you to do that. I want you to hold up your American citizen card there and stand up and chant for the West Indies.
But Bob, your team doing good. 48-1. The 48-1 against the West is not bad. I see them guys hitting some sixes there.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, my contribution is when I looked at that program Wednesday night with Ford, and when I listen, it for me, right? Guyana. How do I look at it? I can remember when the 2015 elections was coming up. I was of the suspicion that the PPP might have lost the elections, and my comments were, the PPP might lose this election because of the foreign intervention from the US and blah, blah, blah. And the sad thing is that when them chapters get in, which is the PNC, it's going to be a sad day. Because them going to say, no, this is our time. Right?
Well, indeed, it was a sad day for the country.
What happened. We saw exactly what happened. When they got in, they did nothing in terms of productivity and production for the country. They just destroy everything. But when I look at Ford's position that night, and I heard Freddie ask him a few questions, and then he said that, my policy is going to be, well, I don't have to build roads and schools and whatever. I'll make sure the wealth go down to the people. Buddy, when I listen to that as an attorney, a man who's an attorney, and he's talking about develop a country by spreading the wealth to his people and whatever, and not looking after roads and school, it's going to be a sad day for Guyana if those people get back into power.
Well, he obviously doesn't know what it takes to make a country develop, or what it is that a country has before you classified it as being developed.
Well, I almost went to tears when I listened to this guy. I said, my God, these people want to run this country. Oh, my God. Siraj, I am living in the US. I really should not care too much about Guyana. But you know what? I was born in Guyana. My heart and every ounce of my body is in Guyana.
Right. There are many Guyanese like that. And we commend, our people living overseas for the feelings that they still hold for the motherland.
I cry every day for Guyana from 2015 to 2020 and the 5 months after elections. After the 2020 elections, I probably had about 300 hair in my head. I don't have any left.
Yeah, well, hopefully this country will not have to endure such a torture again.
I am praying that it doesn't happen. And, once again, I would like to thank Akash and Freddie and to spread this word of development for this country and the passion that Freddie and Akash has for this country. I love you guys so much, man. Take care now.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
For a leading politician to make a statement like you're not going to build schools or develop roads, in your vision for the development of the country as president, that's really ridiculous. Any political analyst can tear that apart, because if a country is not educated, if a country transportation infrastructure is not top notch, how will you be able to develop? You will never be able to develop if you don't have an educated population. And any politician who does not see the merit of investing in education should have no reason being in politics.
True. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, caller. You're online.
Yeah, good night, sir.
Good night, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a complaint.
Go ahead.
Hear me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I went to the Portland hospital this morning. And I have to go to the washroom. So I've been at the lab department. And I have to go to the washroom to give them some urine. And when I went in there, I used the washroom. I went to the sink to wash my hands. I couldn't get any water. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening to you.
Yeah, so when I come out, and I stand up outside, I see a stressor, what you call it, a two-story one.
Right.
It's 12 black tank.
Right.
12 black tank. 430 gallon black tank.
Right.
And you want to tell me they have so much black tank there. And none was connected to the hospital.
Well, any hospital and any washroom without running water should be condemned by all. Should be condemned by everyone. And if that is the situation at Port Morant Hospital, I'm going to inform the Director General of the Ministry of Health on this matter as soon as this program is finished.
So right where we start up is a stressor with 12 black tanks, 450 gallon each black tank.
Right.
And there's no running water. And number two, the place is very nasty. I see they got about 25,000 workers in the place. We go there at 8:30 and there was garbage all over the place. Nobody cleaning the place. When you're there, then you see them coming and they're cleaning and trying to sweep the clean. There is the way the hospital running.
Well, it shouldn't be, sanitation, running water, hygiene. These are basic properties that a hospital must have.
Is a bicycle without wheels.
Yeah. A hospital without water is a death trap.
You see the yard condition, I don't know who running the hospital.
All right, so we'll look into it. Like I said, I know the Director General there. He has some responsibilities for these outlying areas. I'm a friend also of the Minister and the Permanent Secretary. So I'll endeavor on the behalf of the persons going to the Port Morant Hospital to follow up on this matter.
But the service was good. Nothing wrong with the service of the people in there.
Okay. The doctors, the nurses, and so on, they work well.
Everything was good, but the sanitation, not the water.
Caller, let me commend you for being a fair person.
When COVID was there, the same pipe thing was there all over the place that people could wash their hands.
Correct.
COVID done water, we used supposed to wash hands anymore.
No, we can't have that at all. But let me commend you on being a very fair person. I mean, you give your congratulations in areas that you feel they have done well, and you condemn, and I think rightfully so, in areas where they need to improve. Well, we want to thank you very much for bringing this to our attention.
All citizens should be like this, man.
Good, thank you.
I hope when I go back a month from now, things will be good.
Man, give me a day notice. I'm going to bring up some water here for you, just in case.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good, thank you for coming.
Have a good night, all of you.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, you see, that's how people should be. I mean, if there's something to come, but again, if there are things that are being done good, then highlight that too. That's what we do,
Yeah, that is correct. And they call anyone who goes to a medical institution here in this country and cannot get running water in the washroom. They should complain.
That's right.
They should complain at all levels, because
that's a basic necessity.
Basic necessity, especially at the hospital.
Yes, medical facilities.
Right. And I sit on the board of GWI, as Freddie would have announced. Actually, I'm the vice chairman. And we know that this, it's one of our objectives to ensure that we have 100% coverage is potable water. Caller, good night. You're on the air.
Good night, gentlemen.
Go ahead, please.
Good evening.
First of all, Freddie?
Freddie's right here.
Good. And Siraj?
Yes, I'm here also.
Yes. My question to you is this. Not too long ago, we commemorated 58 years of formal independence. Okay, or what we call flag and anthem independence.
Right.
I want you to tell me.
We lower the Union Jack and we hoist the golden arrowhead.
Good. I want you to tell me, we're talking about what's going on in the PNC and the PPP. Let me tell you something, Stuart. The politicians on both sides of the political divide, and not just the two major parties, all those parties like ANOG and all of them, who run and take pictures with the U.S. ambassador. This is meant to be a sovereign and independent nation state. And you have the U.S. ambassador to this country talking and behaving as though this country is a colony of the United States. You guys should be ashamed, man. Who the hell is Nicole, whatever the ass is her name, excuse me?
No, man, be careful, be careful, man.
No, what I'm saying, no.
You can be critical, you know, you can be critical.
No, man, be careful. Please withdraw that, man.
Listen to this.
No, you can't speak at the lady is the ambassador to our country.
I don't have no respect for her. Her country, she is supporting genocide. They are supporting genocide. And yet she wants to sanction individuals in this country.
Oh, I mean, you could say, but hold a sec. You have a right to say who you respect or not. But just be careful.
I don't respect the U.S. ambassador.
Okay.
She has no right.
That is your right. That is your right to say that. But just be careful with the words. Just be careful with the words.
Damn right to meddle in the affairs of this country. She has no. This is not a colony.
Right. Colony, you can express. You can express your opinion, and you know. We have different opinion, and you're free to express it.
They were tracking things, so she's admitting to espionage. Is this a colony of the United States? That is what we come to. That the two main parties cannot stand up. Whatever the transgression of Guyanese citizens, whether it's the Mohammeds or who, right? What they did is wrong. Our institutions as a sovereign nation state should be able to penalize them and not act on the orders of a country that is supporting genocide, that operates like a bully, that turns around and even sanction the judges of the International Criminal Court. Israel tell the International Criminal Court to get to hell, and the U.S. said we can sanction the judges and their families. So if they can do that, then Maduro has no right or responsibility to listen to the International Court of Justice. He can say, look what America's doing. America's above the law. And she comes in this country and talks like if this is a colony. And the politicians are happy to be little overseers. You want to manage this damn neo-colonial plantation on behalf of white supremacy. You're cowards. But you know, I'll tell you something. I am predicting a scenario that is going to come in this country where the people on the ground, the days going to come when the people on the ground are going to watch Western diplomats for the bullyism and stone the vehicles when
No, we gotta go. Well, we don't support that kind of. We don't support that kind of language on this program. We don't support people saying there come a time where any act of violence on this program is not accepted.
Well, that is true. I mean,
we apologize. We apologize for that final remark there. We apologize most sincerely to everyone in this country and to every diplomat or visitor in this country. That kind of advocacy is unacceptable, and we most sincerely apologize. All three of us.
As Mr. Siraj said, everyone has a right to their opinion. However, our we always put in our header on the show that you must be responsible when you call. And this show and the platform, the Freddie Kissoon show, Akash Persaud, Freddie Kissoon, and here Mr. Siraj is here, and the Daybreak News Network and the Guyanese Critic. We're not responsible for anyone. We're not responsible for callers coming through. It not necessarily is they may not necessarily share our views and opinions also.
But it is said in this program, and we apologize.
Yeah, so
we apologize to
all who will be offended.
Yeah. And the object of those words.
Right. So,
the ambassador.
Yeah, and that I was telling the caller that you're entitled to your opinion. You can criticize, but you can also do that in an acceptable manner without going overboard. Because, some people seem to think that freedom of speech means that you can do anything by talking. The freedom of speech does not mean that. Freedom of speech means that you can express a view whilst taking into consideration also the respect of other people. And, quite often we get away with a lot of nonsense under the pretext of expressing yourself freely in a democratic environment and all of that.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us behavior must be in a respectable manner. And the caller does have some grounds for expressing some views.
Well, I think
right?
his points are intellectually arguable.
Correct.
You can't have a country like the US telling involved, participated, provide evidence to put Putin under an arrest warrant. And then when you're somebody you like get charged, you say no. Those kinds of points he has should have been
articulated,
but to get personal and abuse.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So we have let me take this call. Caller, good night, you're on the air.
Hi, good night. I got a complaint to make.
Go ahead.
In Sandy Bob Street, they got a Chinese supermarket open there at Sandy Bob Street. Right now, they're playing music and they're selling beer.
Sandy Bob and where?
Yeah, we're in Sandy Bob Street.
Sandy Bob and McDougal Street.
McDougal, okay. Sandy Bob and
I know where it is. Yeah, that is by what's the name of that? Right. Middleton. That's by Middleton Street.
But the other street that's part of the trench.
Right, the small street there. The small street is McDougal Street.
Yeah.
McDougal Street.
People normally refer to it as Middleton.
Yeah. No, McDougal is the one on the other side of the trench.
So your complaint is about loud noise.
Yeah, right at the corner. This man got music up to now, and he's selling beer, right? He don't have a license to sell beer. I don't know what's going on. They had a guy had a program last week, Sunday, talking about the Chinese technology in the supermarket. They didn't get his number, right? But this is what's going on here.
Well,
you got all the garbage on McDougal Street. I don't know if you believe he owned this street. And the government and the council, they're not doing nothing about the street for years. Like the street for them, they're going to school. Right?
Right. And you say this Chinese restaurant is complicit in dumping garbage, and right now they have...
No, it's not a restaurant, it's a supermarket.
A supermarket. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And that's what's going on. Secondly, they say, you make a nice road from Millington Street, from David Street right down. But there's no speed hump. No speed hump, only when it's reached around a Christian school. So imagine from David Street, Lemahar Street, come straight down. So imagine what's happening with the racing and the drag racing and the motorbikes.
On which street is this?
This gotta be
Millington Street.
Middleton and Lemahar.
Freddie know the street good because Freddie used to come through here with his wife and his kids years ago.
Right, sometimes we are happy when the street go one or two potholes so that they're forced to slow down.
Yeah. They slow them down. But they don't know respect. On the corner of the junction, they got two speed on. One from Sandy Bob Street to the other side. During there.
All right, so we'll try to see how we can influence them to put, speed humps. They should have some, these are residential areas.
They got in Bar Street, they have in Bar Street, they got in Pike Street, they got in Thomas Street. Right? Because the road, they do all wrong with that thing. We don't have.
But this road was recently done, right?
Yeah, he do a good road.
Right, so they probably will come around now to put the speed humps on.
Yeah, the sand trucks now taking advantage of it. Because they don't want to go to Sheriff Street.
Oh, Jesus, they might break it up now because they got some sand trucks they're rolling with 40 tons of sand.
Right, of sand. Right.
Yeah.
You understand?
All right, well.
It's a very good road you do. But I'd like to look into this thing here with this Chinese supermarket.
Yeah, loud music, selling beers, and dumping garbage.
Right. All the garbage up on the one side, you ain't got to strip them.
No, well, these are very irresponsible behavior.
Right.
By these
because raps and all kind of thing you head and this rain.
All right.
Well, we pack up in a car, it need to split them or something, but the nice and the drinking. Right, because right from the corner is a mosque.
Oh, okay.
Right. The Kitty Masjid is right here, yeah.
Right, you understand?
Right.
In the background, you're hearing the music right now. Right? Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good evening, caller. You're live on air.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
We're doing fine.
Good evening to the panel. Yeah, I'd like to make two points here.
Go ahead.
One is that, when you pass the cultural center on your left-hand side, there's a business place that sell barbecue and I don't know what's on the left-hand side.
Right.
Those people buy the property there.
Oh, they're always holding up the traffic there, right?
Yeah, I want to know why the minister and the government is not seeing that. Because they're going from the seawall, and some people must have movable thing there. But when you pass there, one is going to there will be a disaster there. And those people having permanent structure there. I want to know if they have transport for those land.
Caller, I think caller one, the problems.
I want to bring Angel on this program and ask him. And you go to when next week and you take a picture down there, and show the public what is going on in the analysis in this country.
Caller. And the problem with that area there is that people are parking in one lane, put on the hazard, come out and go and buy barbecue, whatever, and you have one lane only to go through it. I know that because I'm faced with that sometimes.
Not seeing that, and the government is not seeing that, and I don't know who else. Probably you have to show it on the television. Next thing, right? I like when Freddie Kissoon said that how much 150 million US we're going to save if we don't import the foreign foods or whatever. But we had a drive in this country in the 70s, close and feed the nation. Produce. Bonham had a slogan. You understand? Eat what you produce. And then we had the rice flour, and we had cassava planting, and we own Guyanese, right? Used to criticize that. So today you have a market economy where people bring in and choose what they want. Sometimes you go to the market and you buy cassava and when you get home and you buy it, it's waterish, it's not good. You have to throw it away. So you better buy the potato.
The aloo.
The aloo, you want to call it.
And sometimes it's cheaper than the arrow too.
Hello, in the market today, I understand that the Brazil tomato is selling for $500 a pound, and the Guyanese tomato is selling for $800 a pound in green.
Well, our tomato is better, so that's why the price is probably higher.
But the question remains that when you go to the market, a small man who has 2 or 3 children are going to buy a pound of tomato and it's 800 against 500, which one you going to buy? If a pound of mutton is selling for $1,800, a pound of mutton is selling for $1,000, which one you going to buy?
Caller, I buy plantain. Yeah, they were 300. When I go aboard the market, the lady said $340 for a pound of plantain.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I took on my $1,000. I pay for a cone.
Freddie buy a whole cone. Freddie buy a cone, an ice cream cone for $1,000.
A cone.
They have a place right in the mall. They're selling a cone too. Right beside GTT there for $800 for a cone, and it tastes like the Guyana cone.
Where is that?
Yeah, and the next thing too, with this driving economy that we have in, I can't understand why things going up so high in this country.
All right, yeah, a lot of factors.
$1,000.
All right, so, well, thanks for coming through, caller.
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah,
I look after the same place by the cultural center there.
Yeah, good.
I hope that's right.
Caller, good night, you're on the air.
Good night, Minister. I just want to bring to your attention the new safe space that was built alongside the Lamaha Street. It was really beautifully done, and it's so nice for walking and exercising. But I just wanted to let you know that there's a lot of street people or beggars, I don't know what you call them, but they're messing up the place.
I just saw it this evening while it's coming here, lady. I just saw it, yeah. That's a problem.
Yes, some of them actually took over the benches. They have their clothes, their pots.
Yeah, I see it. I see it every day. I have to pass there every day. I see it, yeah.
And then there's a lot of garbage around, and I don't think it's people who are throwing the garbage, because the garbage is just next to the bin. I believe they're going into the garbage and looking for food, and they're emptying it out, and they're making a mess of the place. I just want to know that I always thought that our country didn't have the money to take care of these people. But I mean, now I don't know why are we still having these people around on the streets.
But the thing is, lady, when you build these nice parks, you have to police them. You have to have security, else they're going to be an invasion by those homeless people. We went and filmed a homeless man took over one of the bench
for weeks or months,
still occupying a bench at that.
At the seawall.
Yeah, the first lady spent dozens of millions. Anyway, thanks for coming through.
All right.
Caller, good evening. I know you've been attempting to come through for a long time. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Siraj.
Good night, good night. Sorry for the delay, but we have a lot of calls coming in. Go ahead.
And Mr. Akash and Mr. Freddie Kissoon.
Good evening.
I've been calling you guys from Canada. Now I'm calling you from Guyana.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Yes, that's nice. Well, it's been over 4 years, 5 years. I'm talking to you guys about Luziknan East.
Luziknan.
Remember that, Siraj?
Yes, correct. Luziknan East.
The double road area?
Correct.
Well, I invest here, and I think I made a bad investment.
No.
By making my house and come back to live here peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to get this thing solved over 4.5, 5 years now. It happened before you guys government, a little,
mm-hmm.
and it grows to become a thing. Now, I used to beat up on the local authority, I'm going to tell you clearly.
Right, Jagroup.
Jagroup, I think there is a new chairman there now, I get to understand. I went in there.
He's the new chairman. They had a guy named Chick before, Ayub.
Yeah.
Right, so the new chairman is Jagroup.
Siraj knows all of them. Siraj has to solve your problem, so.
But here's the problem. I used to beat up on these guys.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at this situation now, I can't beat up on these guys. I got beat up from the top now.
That is probably where all the licks should be delivered.
Siraj, you get licks.
So you got to beat up on Siraj.
Yes,
the man's a member of parliament.
Put on your gloves, man.
The man's an advisor to the Ministry of Local Government. You got to beat up on
So you're at the right place now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Daddy, give me a chance.
Go ahead.
The local authority people have come and the guys in this place is harassing the guys them and make them like a clown, like a rubber stamp, like nothing. They say they have authorities to do what they want to do. This afternoon I have to go beg them to move the car for me to come in and go out of my yard. Somebody, Akash, I think you should come in and do a video. You're videoing all over the place, all over Georgetown, all over where those posts are.
Yeah.
You should really come and do that, Akash.
All right. Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow and I will get information, all right?
Okay, buddy.
And we'll prepare a video for the next program.
Yeah.
Okay, you have my number there.
But hold on.
We have your number.
If you video this thing right now in front of you there and send it to me, we're gonna show it right now on the screen.
I can't do it right now.
Okay, all right.
Or else I would do it.
Good.
Yeah.
I want you to come and see Luziknan East where you come to. Luziknan East was one. I live here since 1981. I bought this house that I sit in here today and calling.
Right. So
1981.
Right. So the specific problem is illegal parking all over the place.
Peaceful area. One of the most peaceful area in the country.
So the specific problem is the amount of vehicles parking on the road there, yes?
Among the vehicle is all over now. 1st Street, 2nd Street, 3rd Street. You look at it, everybody have vehicle passes. About 25 trucks in this area. Double axle truck, the big truck, the small truck. When you walk in out here in this area, the rain is falling. There's flooding all over the road. Is broken up all over the place.
I have a good friend in Luziknan. Do you know him? David Singh.
David Singh?
Yeah, he runs an optometry he has an optometry place in East Street, Miracle. Okay.
Okay. Yes, I think he lives over west. I think he's on west.
Yeah. He's quite known in
Right. So, caller, if I might come into your area Sunday afternoon, so I'll give you a call.
Okay, do that for me. Siraj, I need you.
Right. Okay then.
Badly, it's not me alone. You know, a next guy come from America was going to buy a house in Florida. He has his family here. I find a house here and a party get it, and the man invests his money here. You know when he asked me last Monday ago, he said, do we need some hard investment?
Oh.
Everybody wants to come back. When the president or the vice president, the Vice President is a big stone away from me where I live, where he is going there now in Canada.
Oh, okay.
I think it would be easier for me to see him there than here.
well, when they go out there is to see people, and they see a lot of people here also.
Yes, but they tell us to come back, you know.
I know, and having come back, they should at least, put things in place, because people have certain kind of expectations, and if we're to develop as a country, all these little things we need to address. The problem is that a lot of people want things to be like they are in the US, but they don't want to follow the rules and laws and regulations. Look at garbage, for example. Everybody wants a clean place, but you drive behind a vehicle on a road, and I guarantee you, after 15 minutes on any one of these roads, you will see somebody throwing something out of a vehicle window. And these are the same people who are calling on you for a clean environment.
Siraj, you know what's my problem too?
Right.
These same people, these same big businessmen that we have in this country goes to Canada and America.
Right.
They have respect for Canada and America.
Right. And when you come down hard on them here, they're talking, oh, we vote for you. So I think they feel that gives them a license to behave bad.
This not is about come down hard. It's about if you can respect another man's home, you can respect your own home.
Correct. Yeah. So, they change, the wise people say that the change you want to see, you must first become that change.
Even Kitty Siwa, look at that place, so beautiful. I drive through there 2 nights now.
Right.
You know what that place is like? A hooligan in some place.
Well, a caller before you just spoke about the building of these nice parks and so on, and then you have the vagrants going and take over and all of that. So it is indeed a problem.
When you go there in the night, you don't know which music to listen to. It's busting your eardrum.
And next thing you know, you walk with your own, and then you contribute also to the problem.
No, when I used to go and enjoy that bandstand, and when it was not developed years ago. I used to go with my kids there. Now, years before, we used to play beautiful there because it wasn't like that. Now it's beautiful, but it's not where family or any people could go and relax.
Well, there's a police outpost. Which part you talking about, sir?
I talked about the whole place because they come and park from the bandstand right on to Virginia Road. It's here nice all over the place.
No, that's a different part. No, I go to that place every afternoon. The part by the bandstand, there's a police unit out there, and they don't tolerate it. You talking about
you talking about the kitty pump station area?
You talking about the kitty pump station, not the bandstand. No, anyway, sir. Let's take this call. Thanks for coming through.
Yes.
See you Sunday?
I'm not certain, but I will be at Good Hope there, so I'll give you a call once I'm in that area.
Okay, buddy. Thanks.
Right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Caller, good night. You're on the air. Oh, shucks, look, I cut the man off.
You have a call.
So
right. Sorry, caller, good night. You're on the air.
Yes. Good evening, gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum, namaste.
And all of that. Good evening also to you.
I have a question for Comrade Siraj.
Go ahead.
Now, up to 10 years ago, I wrote a paper on the history of rice production in Guyana.
Right.
The contribution of Indo-Guyanese. That's up to 2014.
Right.
Now, I'm trying to bring it up 10 years later to 2024.
Right.
But when I'm looking for the statistics, there are 2 years I cannot find. I have said the rice production for 2018 and 2019 and 2022 and 2023.
Right.
Right? But I can't find anything for 2020 and 2021, which are the COVID years, and I can't find any published audited annual report of the GRDB. So, can you shed some light on this? Have these reports been published, or they're waiting to be published?
So you're missing 2 years, that 2020 and 2019?
No, 2020 and 2021. I got the 2 years before. Well, I got all the years except those 2 years. 2020 and 2021.
Because once you got after 2021, 2020 and 21 should be somewhere there. You want to call my number after the program so I can take your personal, or if you
sure.
Right. So, or if you don't mind giving me your number on publicly, I can take. But Call me after the program and 647-4397.
Okay.
Hold a second, Saul. You said you publish, you have a paper?
Well, it's in a magazine called the Guyana Inc. In 2015.
Yeah, I know that that magazine has gone. That magazine has gone out.
Indian arrival month.
Okay.
It was published by Frank Sanichar and his wife.
That magazine has gone out.
So you came in for the wedding?
No. I'm actually done with flu right now.
Okay. So you're updating the publication, right?
I'm trying to update it 10 years later because it ends at 2014.
So how are we going to get that? That's an interesting paper.
It's online. Guyana Inc. magazine, the May 2015 edition.
No, I'm talking about the revised, the new edition. When is that going to be published?
Well, when they could get this last.
Okay. All right. Well, call Siraj. Let's take this call. Right. Call Siraj after the thing.
All right.
Look, Akash.
Caller, good evening.
Hello.
Hi, good evening. You're live on air.
Yes. The question I'd like to ask. Good evening to all three.
Good evening.
There was a paper, The Citizen, in the 70s. And
You're breaking up, son.
Every Friday.
You're breaking up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You're breaking up. We're not the reception. This end is not so good.
Oh, at your end, you're not hearing me well?
Well, we're hearing you now. But I hope you don't break up.
Okay. No. For a paper.
No, you're breaking up, son. Maybe use another phone. Use another phone and call us. There's 3 numbers on the screen.
Right. It's you're.
Yeah. Let me. You have to try calling back, please, because we're not hearing you clearly.
Right. So I am wondering, because I'll make some inquiries as to where is the right stats for 2020 and 2021.
Oh, you calling him back?
This is somebody else who's messaging me here about that issue. Good evening, caller. You're live on air.
I am wondering, because I'll make some inquiries as to.
Caller, you're live on air. Please take the volume off on your device, please.
So you calling him back? Yeah. I think those 2 persons are together.
Caller, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. All y'all there. You know, Kissoon, Mr. Siraj, and
Akash.
Akash.
That's right.
Akash is a great man, the spelling bee. People complaining. They have a guy just now complaining about America, and he come for build house and they got a lot of cars. You, Mr. Kissoon, you was in America. When last you got to America? They got cars start parking on the road. They got people living in the place and cars parking on the road. And I don't see maybe if we got a development, and then they're talking about the trucks, and the trucks got to bring the trucks, the development people got to abide with this for till 2030. I don't see what they're complaining about. But the next point I got, you listening clearly?
Yes.
They're talking about some people, said that America come and sanction people. American sanction people in this country. American sanction people are set over where they do skullduggery. They could do like Akan, come and build a big fancy city. You see Akan building a city in Senegal? Build a big fancy city and thing and take the money and do it before you're there doing a set of stupidness in America. Nobody take away no money from here. They just freeze the asset. Freeze the asset. You die in America, you want to do skullduggery, and you want the people for things. Your wealth can't match. Your wealth is not matching the taxes we're paying. So the America gonna beat them like a eel. That's my point.
All right, caller. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming through. Let me try this guy again. See, he has an issue that he.
Caller.
Yes, caller.
He would not turn down, stop listening to.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
I text you about an issue I have some concern about when someone had mentioned about the cemetery by UG. Several years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I had to go there to bury my brother. As I mentioned, I have 3 siblings buried at that cemetery and my parents. And what I observed there was a pipe coming from a house in the back street and was emptying out into the cemetery. At that time, a few of the grave sites were already being affected by the water and the mud being created by this drainage. Apparently that person is draining the stuff from their sink and their shower and what else into the cemetery. Could someone look into that and see if the whole place is flooded out? I haven't been back to Guyana since then.
And this is the cemetery at UG Road?
This is the cemetery by UG Road, by UG Gate.
Okay.
Where the pipe is coming out is they have a tall concrete fence at the back there on the left side. So you couldn't see the house, and I didn't want to go around to investigate anything. But the pipe was just emptying water and what else right into the cemetery there.
Yeah.
Is there somebody could check on that for me?
All right, we'll ask some person to check on it. But so you're saying that this residence that all the wastewater is going into the cemetery.
Who has jurisdiction for that cemetery? I know that cemetery. I taught at UG for 26 years, so I had to pass it for 26 years. It's not the NBC?
It's way at the back when you walk in. You have to go right down to the back. You walk on the left side when you get over the small bridge. Actually, that bridge was built by my brother when he was alive. A long time ago. He had people who were doing improvements.
All right.
And so if you go to the left side, you get to the back and you'll see there's a long pipe that extended at least 20 or 30 feet from the wall. It is still draining there.
Right. You don't have a picture of this particular area.
No, I didn't take any picture of it. But as soon as you go over the bridge, if you see it to the left.
I know the area very well, Saul. Very well. I taught at UG for 26 years, so I know the area very well.
All right.
Siraj need to look
Well, thanks for coming through. Let's take some other calls, all right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Caller, good evening. You're on the air.
Yes, good evening. I was asking earlier on, in the 70s, I used to write for a paper called The Citizen.
All right, no, we get to you loud and clear now. Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Again, yes. There was a paper called The Citizen.
Yeah, it was an
afternoon paper. That paper. Correct. And I used to write a musical column. And I asked in the archive, I wrote under the Apple government, I think Duncan, asked if there's any way I could get a copy of one of the articles I wrote. Is there any way possible I could get that, and who should I contact?
Well, that would not be online. Yeah. So you will have to come to Guyana or get somebody.
Who was the publisher? Who was the publisher of the Citizens paper?
No, but you can't get that, so you can't get it online. You have to get somebody to give your copy in the archives. That is since the 70s. That's more than 50 years ago.
Who was the publisher of the Citizen?
I don't know who's the publisher.
Who was the publisher?
No, it's the National GNNL, I think.
Oh, but that's the Chronicle.
That's Chronicle.
That's the Chronicle.
So if it's at the Chronicle, I can talk to somebody and find out if it's possible. Because I worked there for 17 years. I have a very good relationship with them.
The person will film it with their phone and probably send it to you.
Yeah.
I'll find out,
I would
okay?
appreciate that.
You live outside of Guyana?
In New Brunswick.
Oh, and you need a copy of your article?
Yeah, just one article. Anyone, it doesn't matter. I wrote several articles.
You have to tell...
What's your pen name?
Balkaran.
Just Balkaran?
Hari Balkaran.
Hari Balkaran. And you wrote, well, if you could call Akash worked at the Chronicle for over 50 years. You should call Akash and give him specific.
Yeah, and I will see what
the
you
year
get.
that you wrote it. What have you? And sorry, that is not easy to. That's very easy to locate. If you give us Akash the details. The archives will allow you to film it.
Right. So right, the same number you call, you keep the same number, and after Akash, when you want to call.
Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow and give me some specifics. There's a gentleman who I know watches the show every night. He is usually over at the archives there, and I will reach out to him and see how he can help us also. All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for coming through, Mr. Balkaran.
Thank you, Balkaran, for writing back in these days. You've joined the elite ranks of the Freddie Kissoons and so on.
What you wrote about?
I used to write a specific popular arty, like people like, say, Garfunkel. I would write Boss Skaggs. Yeah.
Okay, Western pop music. You didn't write about Indian
Western pop.
Okay.
No, Western pop, yes.
You know, Freddie's a reggae singer too. He joined
the man's a Garfunkel. You know, he sings.
Gildawi didn't know about the song "Bridge Over Troubled Water." Gildawi thought it was a movie called "Bridge on the River Kwai."
Oh yeah.
No. The best one from that album is the one called Bookends.
Yeah, even Freddie don't know about that one.
I presented a gift of that CD to Akash, to Gildawi on the program.
Yeah. Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. Thanks for coming through, Mr. Balkaran.
No problem. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Okay.
USA is 95 for 6 after 15 overs. West Indies, they got to win. They're in a must-win situation. Bob, you watching? 95 for 6.
I think Bob has changed allegiance for the West Indies.
You put your hopes on the West Indies. The people can have 45 for 9, and West Indies might make 38.
They say West Indies is the only team that knows to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory.
No. I won't have that on this program.
Hey, I've seen it many times.
I'll ask you gentlemen to withdraw those.
Yeah, we can withdraw those comments. Yeah, we're gonna withdraw those comments.
No, we cannot allow
95 for 6.
We cannot afford to lose to the USA. We're going to win that.
We gotta win.
The guy who wants that article from the Citizen 50-something years ago. He probably hasn't come back since then.
Yeah, it's Hari Balkaran. So
I'm gonna talk to somebody.
But he has to give you the year, the month that he wrote.
Right.
If he's listening, could you call back and let's find out what music you're listening to now?
Freddie's very interested in music.
If he's listening, can you call back and tell us what other articles you wrote about? What other articles of music you wrote about? I should have engaged the guy.
Call you back, man.
Yeah, he called on your phone. Yeah. So, no, it's interesting that after all these years.
How many articles he wrote on? Hari Balkaran?
Hari Balkaran, yes.
You sure?
You have his number?
Yeah, the last is 7989, the last number.
That's his
7989. Okay.
Oh, he's calling on my phone.
Is your phone in the
Harry, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Harry?
Yes.
How many columns in the Citizen you wrote?
It used to be every Friday. And I used to write musical article biographies and
it would be
how long you wrote for?
How long for? A year, 2 years, 3 years?
Almost a year.
Almost a year. That's a lot. That's a lot of columns. So what other artists you reviewed? You said Bob Skaggs.
Bob Skaggs, Bob Dylan, Johnny Mathis, Andy Williams.
Oh, you wrote about Johnny Mathis? That is my favorite singer. That is definitely my favorite singer.
Really, yeah, Johnny Mathis, Andy Williams.
You haven't kept these articles? You haven't kept these columns?
No, I mean, I was just out of high school trying to make a dime somewhere or the other. I used to import records and even sell to Radio Demerara, a guy called Bobby Rees.
I know.
I don't know if you know those people.
You haven't been back to Guyana since?
Yeah, I came back a few times, yeah. I used to buy records from the U.S. and Bobby Rees would market some of those records for me.
But
so I know quite.
But when you came back, you didn't go to the archives to get some of your columns?
No, when I came, the couple of times I came to Guyana was one disaster, man. I never came for a holiday. So it was very unfortunate.
When last you in Guyana?
Hope you come back.
In 1993, yes.
Oh my goodness, man. That's
Guyana is unrecognizable. You don't recognize the country, it's a different country now.
Oh, you gotta come and collect your archive. So your children knew that you were a columnist and a review. You wrote.
Now I listen to more Celtic music. I wind down now. So.
Okay, why Celtic music?
No, it's more soothing to the heart. Yeah. Some of the good artists are people. If you listen to the music team from The Gladiator, that's a Celtic singer.
Yeah.
There's a movie with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
That's the kind of music.
I knew many more, but.
So you haven't kept any of your columns?
I kept a couple, but I got to go into my basement and look for them. But I kept a couple, but the majority I didn't.
Thanks for coming through. Call Akash and we'll get those columns to you.
And come early and you'll link up with Freddie and you'll go down memory lane together.
Okay.
And we're going to bring you can come on the show with us, man.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Caller, good evening. You're live on air. Yes, good evening.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
And good night, Mr. Akash.
Yes.
And good night, Mr. Siraj.
Go ahead.
I don't know if the topic tonight is specific or I can discuss
anything.
It's open.
Go, anything.
I'm going to expound on something that I will not go into the or expound on the current issue with Mohammed and the government. However, this is my honest opinion. Why is it after independence, these imperialist power, or European power, if you want to put it that way, in which includes America, we have been treated like children or property of these imperialist power, who would have enslaved us for 4 years, colonize us for another 100 and something years. You understand? We finally achieved our sovereignty in 1966. But systemically, right, they continue to suppress these third world nations. Why is it that the Americans are the intellectual art of terrorism? Because the Middle East, the Americans and the Europeans have destabilized the Middle East, oppressed the Middle East, and many other countries in the world. We can't craft, for example, let us look at the anti-money laundering bill. I think that is a mechanism designed to curtail and keep smaller countries like us in check. You understand?
The former president, Donald Ramata, told me he thinks that was the reason for the bill, for the Americans forcing the bill on third world countries.
Exactly.
Anyway,
you know what Obama told Mr. Putin in 2009? He is guilty of illicit capital outflows out of Russia. You know what Vladimir Putin told him? He's being held in your banks in Manhattan, Miami, Los Angeles, and all the big banks in the U.S., big cities in the U.S.
You gotta go for
right? Now, look at, for example,
The U.S. cross-border trade from San Diego, the drug trade, to be almost $500 billion US. United States has a legal GDP of 26 trillion US, whether if you measure it at nominal or purchasing power parity.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
When you go back into history, the CIA is the biggest consumer of drugs. Escobar and many other cartels. They went into Afghanistan. The poppy cultivation in Afghanistan before 2001 was meager, very small. When they went in there, in the space of 10 years, became billionaires, owning skyscrapers in Kabul, the capital.
Okay.
It's the same thing happening in Vietnam. So why we have to stoop to the Americans like children? They could sanction people here, but we can't sanction nobody there. You know, mental slavery is very evident, brother. And I'm happy that I have liberated myself from those conditioned thinking. You know what I'm saying, brother? I'm not an intelligent guy. I never went to the university.
Seems like you have benefited from some of the classes that Freddie would have taught me.
Don't worry, him, sir. Thanks for coming to you.
No, I never benefited from no class, friend. I have lived all my life a very patriotic. I never denigrate my country to uphold and praise the success of a white man land.
Well,
I never do that. And I would never do that. I like the Chinese man. When China opened up to the world in 1979, the Americans capitalized on the cheap labor, exploit those people. Forever, then mass produced it. That's why many of us today could afford a TV at an affordable price. Kudos to the Chinese man. And this is how we Guyanese guys start thinking. However, it has been a pleasure, and I thank you guys to give me a space to voice my opinion. And you guys have a blessed weekend.
We take calls every Friday, so let's hear from you next Friday, right?
Yes, enjoy your night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So big trouble over there. 112 for 8, Freddie. 17.40 was USA. 112 for 8. Bob, you watching?
112 for 8.
I would argue and say that runs on the board.
Our numbers are on the screen, and the operator said we have 5 minutes more. Very important man in the studio. Dharam Kumar Siraj, Member of Parliament, Vice Chairman for GWI Board, and advisor to the Ministry of Local Government. You have a problem in your area, in your village, in your enclave, please call right now and talk to Siraj. He's making notes, taking your numbers down, the areas he's supposed to visit for your complaints. If you are looking at us, we have 4 minutes more to go. So send in your calls to Siraj. You have any problem? There's a guy from Australian who said he wasn't getting water for so many years. And this is the second consecutive week Siraj is on the program and we haven't heard from him. So Siraj did say that area is getting water. So I guess he's getting water. So we're coming down to program time. So the numbers are on the screen.
Somebody from a message just now from Parika, and Babita Kissoon. She says when you're going to go to Parika to visit in Parika area.
Okay. I'll go and visit Parika and yeah, definitely. Parika is doing well. You know, Sunday's Parika big day.
Yeah, the market.
You ever been to the market, Freddie?
Millions of times.
Yeah.
Up to 3 months ago with my wife.
Right.
Nice.
So Sunday is the day when
I've always gone there.
When banks are also open at Parika.
Yes, indeed. Yeah,
so
yes.
Wednesday,
that's a busy day.
Yeah, Wednesday is there, Sunday there. Let's take this call. Caller, good night. You're on the air. Hello? Caller, good night. You're on the air.
Good night, miss. Good night.
Go ahead.
Why we beating up on the white man and this and that? No nation can live without one another. If it wasn't sugar, we wouldn't have dead on here. If it was we food pains, we wouldn't have dead on here enjoying the sweet south. So I just wonder why we beating up on the white man and the white man this and the white man that. If you don't obey the rules of the people country, you're going to get damaged. Yeah, so I just listen to you, Mr. Kissoon, the white thing and this and the black. I listen to a sign. I don't promote that at all. No racism from no part. I don't promote that. Because if it wasn't the white people to bring our food parents, we wouldn't enjoy this meeting. That's my point.
Okay, right. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, people have their different views and so on. So
3 minutes. Our operator just said to be in my ears. 3 minutes left. So call in and talk to the member of parliament and one of the longest serving PPP member.
Caller, good night. You're on the air.
Hey, good night, Mr. Freddie Kissoon.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, just calling for inform you. As a guy got the nursing certificate, I finally get through.
Oh, wow. Thank God, man. I don't believe in God, but thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for giving us that feedback.
Yeah, I was trying whole night to get some other issues to raise, but I know you're closing off now next week.
Well, I'm happy
you got a couple seconds.
Yeah, go ahead.
You got about 30 seconds.
The first one is that I would like Mr. Siraj to bring up the policy about responding to people at the ministry, respond to every concern. If they could put in a ticketing system when people raise a concern, they get a ticketing system, so they must respond within a certain amount of time. Because some people waited 7 months or so for a response about a job application or a scholarship or just some minor stuff.
Well, we have that system at GWI, but at the ministry, the ministry is much bigger than that. But most of the ministers, when they go out on their field visit, and the president does this a lot, as well as the vice president, they have a small crew that goes with them. They take their information, and then they have a secretariat that is dedicated to responding to all the issues that were raised during those community outreaches. So
I understand, but I think a policy or something written solidified should be made.
Well, I can say it's an unwritten policy that you respond to everyone come in there. It's the way you operate, the way the ministry should operate. But I take your suggestion that probably some kind of a system be devised specifically to follow up and to get feedback.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, these complaints are lost in the system.
How far we could get contact to the Youth Advisory Council, the Presidential Youth Advisory Council. All right, so yeah, I'll take it easy, right?
Right.
All right.
Okay, then. Thank you very much.
And I'm glad you called, Chumak. You make Freddie believe in God. Freddie believed in God. All right, good. Thanks.
We've got 1 minute more, so we can take probably one more call. 1 minute more. We're waiting for one last call. You've got any call before we wrap up? Okay, well then that's it. And when we're about to wrap up and close, a call is going to come in. You want to bet? When
we got one here. You want to take it?
Yeah,
let's take this one. Caller, good evening. You're our last caller.
Yeah, good evening, my brother. Trying to get through it, thing, but thank God I get through. But
quickly,
I want to ask you all something. This thing with the opposition leader Abiy Martin, I think the relevant authority supposed to seize the firearm license, right? Is the license supposed to be gone? Right?
Well, the authority.
That's all. You can't you can't see somebody firearm license based on what another person say. You have to investigate.
Yeah, but I'm glad that them investigate the matter, because when Daramlal went to Hio and you saw them jump up and get stupid. You understand? So now you're not here them do nothing. So something got to be done. It's got to be investigated properly and get this man off the same. Cause me never vote for that man attack.
All right, man.
Well, a lot of people share your sentiment, but we also, there needs to be a report needs to be made.
They got to be made. They got to do what they have to do because
Correct.
this is a serious thing.
Right. If someone threatens you,
this is a we Guyanese concern. This thing they got nothing to do with American and things.
No, caller, you have a point. But the police will act on a complaint that if someone threatens them with a gun or a cutlass or an ice pick, then the police will investigate the complaint.
I'm sorry for Kissoon. I'm sorry for Vanessa Kissoon, but I tell you that sorry. When I see the girl, I start crying. This girl is nobody for me. But I start crying when I see this thing, by this man is a cruel man.
No, be careful, sir. Be careful, right? We don't want nobody to sue for libel. You have to be careful because we can get sued for libel. Anyway, look.
Thanks for coming through, man. All right? We're out of time.
We're out of time. Bye-bye. But that's it.
Right. We've had a good program, and
we always had a good program when you're here. Why don't you join us every week?
Well, I endeavor to.
The only problem you have is if you don't deliver.
Correct.
Crucify you.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of people calling, like only today a caller called me and said that the people turn up, and this is in the Prospect and DC area, that the officials turn up to investigate the burning of these newspaper that you use with the spray painting business.
Yeah.
So this guy apparently got a spray place operating in a residential area, and what is even more dangerous, he burns all the debris from this activity, and then the smoke go into people's homes.
Before we close, you know how many guests on this program wear nice shirt jacks, and when we ask them where it's from, I think almost all of them said it's from abroad. Stand up and let people see your nice shirt jack, man. Where is that? Where is the shirt jack from?
Yeah. This is
2 pockets, right? This is nice.
Right.
Freddie like short jacks, you know.
I never wore a short jack. I can't shoot, but God buy some short jack. So where is
this is nice. This is nice.
Afghanistan? This came from?
No. My daughter actually purchased this one for me. She bought some short jacks for herself right here in Guyana, in Georgetown. I think some store linked to Panama. The Panamanians wear these kind of short jacks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but this one, she bought this one for me at this store in Miami.
See, all the short jacks are from abroad. But
yes.
I think it's time you give Akash a short jack. Thanks for being with us. This is our usual Friday night call-in program, and our guest we didn't have guests, but our co-host last week and co-host this week has been Dharam Kumar Siraj. You know him by now. We don't need to say PPP Member of Parliament. What we need to tell you, he's on the Vice Chairman of the GWI board. And people always complain about water. And then people always complain about these non-performing NDCs. And he is advisor to the Minister of Local Government, which takes in the NDCs. Let's hope time permit he comes next week and he graces with his presence frequently. We will see you on Monday on behalf of Siraj wearing a lovely navy blue short jack. And the Muslim brother, our co-host, Akash Persaud. Thanks for being with us. Catch you later, man.